Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Super Salar, back with another video. And in today's video, I wanted a new idea called What or Who is Said Character. I hope you guys like the series and show its support. I'm going to start the series off with my favorite character, and if the series does well, I will do characters that y'all request in the comments. And yes, the first character, if you've been watching my channel, then you know it's gonna be none other than the Flash. And if you're not aware of who the Flash is a character from DC Comics, a speedster who is a main conduit to what is called the Speed Force in DC. Yes, and this is my favorite character because my favorite superpower is super speed. And yes, the Flash has been taken up by a lot of people. This mantle has been held by four people mainly in the DC universe, and those are the four that I will be focusing on this video. Let's get started. The first Flash was a man named Jay Garrick who was one day at work and inhaled gases and other fumes that gave him the ability to run at super speed. Jay Garrick the Flash became one of the most popular characters in DC and the Flash for over 30 years. His first appearance as the Flash was Flash Comics issue 1, 1940. Yes, this old geezer has been around for a long time and is still running around somewhere in the DC multiverse. Jay Garrick was the one and only Flash in the golden age of comics. Going into the Silver Age, the year is 1956. DC has revamped a lot of their characters, and one of the characters is the Flash. Now we get into the Who to, and this character has taken up the mantle for the second time is none other than Barry Allen, a forensic scientist who one day in his lab got struck by lightning that threw him into a shelf of chemicals that resulted in him gaining super speed, becoming the Flash for years to come, to the point that Barry's comics got so popular that DC made a crossover comic called Flash of Two Worlds, where Barry Allen meets Jay Garrick for the first time ever, and this is where it's said that Jay Garrick the Flash was from Earth 2. Barry claimed that he read his comics growing up, and that's how he got the name The Flash, which is a really cool concept. Man, the writing back then in DC was just golden. Back then, Barry Allen had a wife named Iris, and she had a nephew named Wally that got along with Barry. And Barry became a father figure to this young kid. And one day, Barry brought him to the lab, and when he brought him to the lab and was showing him around, Wally got struck by lightning. And you guessed it, he gained powers of super speed, becoming Barry's sidekick for years to come. The two would make one of the best duos ever. The year is now 1985, and boy did DC really hit the starlight when they released a huge crossover comic called Crisis on Infinite Earth. And in this crossover, there was a villain named Anti-Monitor who had an antimatter cannon that was sending waves throughout the DC multiverse, destroying the whole entire DC multiverse universe by universe. And my boy Barry sacrificed himself in order to save what remained of the DC multiverse. Getting into who number 3, if you can guess it and guessed it correctly, you know who it is. It's none other than the first Kid Flash, Wally West. He found Barry's suit after the aftermath and took the mantle for years to come, becoming a main popular character and farther growing the legacy of the Flash. Wally as the Flash is the only one and only that has two different fan base. And what do I mean by that? Well, let me break it down for you. Wally has fans like me who just overall like the Flash character. It doesn't matter who's under the mask. We just love us some Flash. And then you have the toxic fans who are very naive and disrespect anybody else who has taken up the mantle, and they swear Wally is the only Flash that matters, and they don't understand the Flash character as a whole. While Wally is a great Flash, this toxic fanbase must be stayed away from, and don't let them ruin your experience being a Flash fan or reading Flash comics. Moving on to the number who 4, we have none other than Bart Allen, the grandson of Barry Allen. Bart became the Flash when Wally disappeared during Infinite Crisis. He wasn't the Flash as long as everyone else, but he was a cool character. Now that you know who the Flash is, now let's get into what is the Flash. Well, the Flash is a being with their main power being a connection to what is called the Speed Force. Yes, the Speed Force is an extra dimensional energy that surrounds the entire multiverse of DC, and it was said that Barry Allen was the very person who created it with every single step he took, and Wally as the Flash might be the best user of the Speed Force. And yes, while this mantle has been held by multiple characters, he is an essential part of the DC universe as a whole. Mostly every Justice League or most teams have a Flash because the Flash is too much of an amazing character. He is very much OP as well, especially Barry and Wally, the two mainline Flashes. Yes, wow. Wally is deemed to be faster. At the end of the day, both are incredibly fast. Both Barry and Wally are the main Flash pillar of the DC universe. The Flash overall is my all-time favorite character, and Flash comics are some of the most wonderful books you can get your hands on. I suggest if you're learning about the character now, then I want you to know that it's not too late to jump in, pick up some comics, check this character out, and you won't regret it. I hope you guys liked the video. It was really fun making this, and I hope you guys liked the idea. Drop a like and subscribe. May y'all all have a blessed day.